friends. Today we're going to build a beautiful, colorful C major scale inspired by the playing of Lyle Ritz, and then learn how to use it over top of Polka Dots and Moonbeams. Before we get started, click the link to grab the free PDF off my website to help follow along with this lesson. What we're really talking about is how we can add color to a C major chord, but to understand that, we need to understand the sound of a C major chord. We can do that within a key. We could just play a C major scale like this. We know this sound. It's okay if you can't play it. We know what it sounds like. But for us, we're talking about chord melody here, and we want these notes to be in the higher voice of the chord, which means we want to play pretty much on the A string as much as possible. We're going to use our high G string to play the first note, and we're going to play from G to G in the key of C. And I want you to just play each of these notes and really tune in to how they make you feel. So we play this G, we're going to open A, 2nd fret B, and then C, and then D, 5th fret, 7th fret E, F on the 8th fret, and then G on the 10th fret. Let's bring it back down to F on the 8th fret, E, D, C, D. Okay, now let's play it again, and I'm not going to talk. Just listen to the sound. 3, 4. Now, one of those notes might sound a little bit off to you, and if it doesn't, that's okay. We're going to listen more closely now because uke allows us to do a really fun thing in the key of C, which is play our chords and the melody at the same time without much thought. Why? Because these 3 strings are a C major chord. So we can just strum these against all of these notes on the A string and hear what it sounds like with the harmony. So if we strum just our 3 strings here, because we don't want the A in that first chord, so we hear the G in there, that sounds really nice, doesn't it? It has that nice stable sound. Strum all of our strings open. That A is now our melody note. Sounds great, doesn't it? 2nd fret B. It's still a nice relaxing feeling, isn't it? I like that B. Then we go up, strum 3rd fret. It's just a C major chord, isn't it? You've all played this before. Go up to the 5th fret. It has a little tension to it, doesn't it? But it's still sort of floating. I'm going to accept this note, and if it feels a little bit off to you, I want you to strum it a couple times and just sit with it. Get used to this sound of this add 9. Then we go up to the 7th fret, just one of our notes in the C major chord. Sounds beautiful. Now as we play the 8th fret, that changes the whole feeling of the chord, doesn't it? It brings so much tension because what does it want to do? It wants to resolve back down to that E. Then we go up to the 10th fret, and that's fine. So the only note out of our C major scale that sounds off is that F. So what we're going to do as we start to color in this C major chord is we're simply going to leave out the F. So what we've been playing really is a G dominant or a G mixolydian scale, which is just playing from G to G in the key of C major. Now we're going to take out that F and play a C major hexatonic scale. So fancy, it just means a 6-note scale. And really what I'm thinking is, these are the notes of a C major chord to me, that I can start to play some new sounds. So if we play the same scale while strumming, but leave out the F, listen to how this sounds. So we strum, so our G is the melody note, now our A is the melody note. 2nd fret, that sounds beautiful. 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, and then we're going to skip the 8th fret, go right to the 10th fret. Now these are all nice open tones that we can play. We still maintain that sound of C major the whole time. Now let's look at how Lyle Ritz would take this concept and create a really beautiful chord scale utilizing these color tones. When I'm talking about color tones, I'm talking about the complementary notes outside of the basic triad. So a C major chord that we were just playing is C, E, and G. The notes that we are adding, the A, B, and the D, our 6th, our major 7th, and our 9th are our color tones. Now when Lyle Ritz was playing these scale runs, he would add a color tone to every single chord. When we were just playing our scale, a lot of times we were just playing C major. This is C major. These are all just C major. So we want to be able to add color to each of these, and it provides movement within the chord as well as adding color over top. So to start with our G melody note, as we mute the A string, you can see that I'm just pressing down like I'm playing a C major chord, but I'm not pressing down all the way. So that's how I mute that. Or you can just do a partial strum and strum just those top strings of the instrument. Now this is just a C major chord, so I'm going to say, what can I add to this? We can't touch the G because that's our melody note. This E is the major third. We always want to have a major third if we can. That's the note that says, hey, am I major or minor? That's fairly important. So on the C string, what can we add? Well, we're playing a C. We can't add the E here because we're already playing that. So let's add the D. This is our 9th. So we're going to play open, 2, open, and mute. And it sounds like this. So instead of, we have this nice uplifting sound of an add 9. Now for the next note, our melody note A, we can indeed just play all open. We could save that 9th there if we wanted, but then there's no differentiation between the chords. So when we start to move, here the G goes up and the D goes down. We automatically have this counter melody going on in the lower voice. Now as we go up, we were playing a C major 7th before. And what we're going to do is we're going to add back in that 9th. So this is now a C major 9 chord. You may be saying, hey, well, that's just an E minor 7th or a G 6th. Then you're absolutely right. But when we play it over top of a C in the bass, it sounds like a C major 9th chord. We can play E minor 7th in any position and have a C major 9 chord. And this is something that Lyle Ritz did quite a lot. So again, we're having that movement because if we stayed C6, just a C major 7, we wouldn't be moving any of the other notes. So we have this voice leading in here. So we go from a 9th to a 6th to a major 9. So we're alternating those sorts of voices, the major 9 and the 6th chord. And then we're going to play a C6, 2, 4, 3, 3. You may have played this voicing before. We have the 6th in there. We have a color tone, but see now that this note is also moving up. And we're taking our G and that's moving up to an A. So we have all this movement within the chord now from major 9 to the 6th. So just play those first 4 chords in the scale. We get, let's try that very slowly, half notes. 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to make this next one a C6-9 chord, which means we're just going to add our pinky on the 5th fret here. Keep everything else the same. Now you could play an E minor 7th here, but in the scale runs, that's generally not what would happen. So we'll play C6 to C6-9. So now we have this movement of this. C6 is a great one, so we're just going to go up to the next voicing of C6, 5, 7, 5, 7. So we get all of these fingers are just sliding on up and sort of rearranging themselves on the frets, but they're all staying on the same string. The way that this exercise is set up makes the fingering very easy, and when we get into playing the tune Polka Dots and Moonbeams, you'll see that it moves by rather quickly, so we don't want to maybe be making this change to the major 9 voicing here. The C6 makes more sense because we can do this. Now our final one is another 6-9 voicing, but it's the same one we already played. We're just moving it up to the 7th fret. We have the 6th and the 9th. We are missing the major 3rd in this one, but it's okay. And that's our whole scale. So let's walk up it now and listen to how these voices are moving. 2, 3, 4. and back down to C6. Now let's take this scale and apply it to a song so we can see it in practice. We're going to be applying this over top of the opening statement of Polka Dots and Moonbeams, which Lyle Ritz has a great version of on his album 50th State Jazz. Now keep in mind that Lyle tunes to re-entrant baritone tuning, so while we are playing similar chord voicings to what he is playing on the recording, he is tuned to G. So he will be playing in the key of G while we are playing in the key of C. Now, if you would like to try this tuning yourself, check out this video and you can see how you can tune really any uke to re-entrant baritone tuning. Just a nice, really sweet, mellow sound and a large part of Lyle's sound. So first we need to learn the melody to this opening statement, and it sounds like this. Should sound mighty familiar. Isn't that just the pitch collection that we've already made? That is that C hexatonic scale. So this is coming in on the end of 1, or you're going to hear me say 1, and then we're going to play the first note. So let's play this together nice and slow. 2, 3, 4, 1. Let's try it again. 3, 4, 1. It's really important to learn the single note melody before you start harmonizing this, because it's very easy to lose the voice of that melody within the denser chords that we're going to play. Now we said that all of these notes fit within the scale that we already made, so we're just going to harmonize them at first with the chord shapes. So every chord is going to correspond to every melody note as we were just practicing it in the scale in the previous section. So we start out on this G, we're going to play that C add 9. And you'll see at this point I've taken out the names of all of the chords. We're just going to think big picture, all of this is a C major chord. We're just adding different colors. We don't want to think of them as all different chords. This is all C major. So we start out just walking up our scale. Let's try that much together, but try it in time. So nice and slow. 3, 4, 1. Try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. One more time. 3, 4, 1. And then we're going to walk it back down, right? Just take it from that top chord, walking down. So we're going to... So we're going to be starting on the end of 4 on that top chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try that again. 3, 4. Now let's try that entire opening statement, just harmonizing with this C scale that we have created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Perfect. It already sounds like a beautiful harmonization of the melody, but there are more chord changes in this song. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this chord scale and we're going to add a few different chords to it just to bring us some tension and release. If you'd like to dive deeper into the world of ukulele jazz, join me over on the Tim Mann's Magic Ukulele Club, where we have an archive of over 400 lessons and new lessons and live streams each and every week. This is when it's important to start to know the harmony of the song. So Polka Dots and Moonbeams actually starts out with a country dance was being held in a garden, or the chords are C to A minor 7th, to D minor 7th, and G 7th. Let's play that together, just with basic voicings. 2, 3 on C. C, A minor 7th, D minor 7th, to G 7th. 1, 6, 2, 5. Nice basic progression. One more time. D minor 7th. Now we've already heard something that's really important, and that's that the first measure already has the entire sound of the harmony, because when we're thinking C, all of those colors also work over top of A minor 7th. And why is that? We tune our uke to C, which is the same pitch collection that we have in an A minor 7th chord. The root is just different. So all of these tensions and colors that we just learned over top of C work over top of any A minor 7th chord as well, as long as it supports the melody. And you hear that even when we get to the D minor 7th, that actually doesn't sound too far off from what we want. It's a D minor 11th sound. All of these notes can also work over D minor 7th. Over top of the G 7th is the only place where we sort of start to falter, because what's so important about G 7th? It has an F in it. That note that we took out earlier, that's the note that provides direction. This is also in the D minor 7th chord, but we can get rid of it in there and play that G instead, and that's still going to work for us, having that 11th in there. We can play this over D minor. So our first measure is going to stay exactly the same. And as we come to D minor, our melody note's that E, one of our notes that's in our chord. Remember, we were playing this before? We're just going to get rid of that G here. We're going to play that F. We're just going to take these voicings and add in the F. All of these notes, C, D, A, are all in our C pitch collection. We're just adding an F, and by adding that back in, it's going to give us our movement chord. Same thing, we're going to play a D minor 7th. You've probably played this one down here, but what's actually in here? Well, D is one of our color tones, A is one of our color tones, C is in the C major chord. Again, all we're doing is adding the F, and we have this new sound. Regular old G 7th, and then play this. G7, the 9, and a flat 5. It's a nice sound. So our second measure will now sound, instead of like this, which sounds fine, now we're adding tension by reintroducing that F. And one extra color tone on that G, just because I love my flat 5s. So as we add tension, we get this sort of sound. First measure stays the same. It's just utilizing that C color scale that we've already created. And then we're going to, on the descent, just add back in that note that we said provides tension, because that's what we want to feel, because there's a G 7th in this bar. So we get... Let's try that nice and slowly together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. D minor 7. Let's do it again. I hope you all have enjoyed this lesson. Don't get too hung up on the theory side. Just practice that C major chord scale that we constructed, and your fingers will start moving to apply these colorful sounds without even thinking about it. Of course, this doesn't just work on Polka Dots and Moonbeams. This is anywhere that we're sitting on a C major chord. Lyle Ritz's arrangement of Where or When, the opening bit, plays a bit of this chord scale. Introducing that F, we're over to our D minor sound. Or you could play this on the beginning of Out of Nowhere. any place that we have a C major chord, you can start to play this. Now I've arranged the entire A section of Polka Dots and Moonbeams for you. There are a lot of chords in here. Go through it slowly and note how most of this is utilizing these chord shapes that we have built off of this C major hexatonic scale. See you all soon.